A very good morning to all students of semester 2, Datta College, Department of English. This presentation today is to make clear to all the students who will have to attempt questions on Dattani for their end semester examinations, as well as who want to attempt Dattani as part of their tutorial assignments, that they need to concentrate on a few points and a few layout patterns when completing their assignments. Firstly, when attempting the Dattani's text for the university and for the tutorial assignment, each student must read each act of the play, primarily the 3 acts, very closely. While reading each act, you are also directed to make individual notes on specific themes which I will lay out before you today. In Act 1, since it is focused on the women in the play, you are to make notes from Act 1 closely following the text on the following themes. The first theme is the role of female characters in the play, namely Dolly Trivedi, Alka Trivedi, Ba and Lalita. The points which you all will make from this act will have to be substantiated later from a note which I will put up in the tab entitled Instructional Material in the Datta College LMS system under the heading Probing of Femininity. I will put up that note. You all will read that, write it down and add your specific points made from Act 1 to that general note on the role of women and female characters and female individualism as represented by Dattani in Bravely Fought the Queen. In the second act, Act 2, dealing with the world of the men, you will have to make points on the following themes. 1. How patriarchal oppression or how males in a society enact oppression on the female characters. That is the first theme. The second theme under which you all will make notes specifically from Act 2 will be how the family has influenced the male characters to become figures of oppression which they are. For the second theme, I am giving an example to make the idea clear to all. For example, Jiten Trivedi is presented as an extremely aggressive and angry figure in the play. We must, however, note that Jiten Trivedi's aggression is the result of an oppression which he had faced from a very young age. Similarly, Nitin Trivedi is an introvert in the play. He cannot come out as a gay figure before his family, before his wife, because his parents, especially his mother Ba, even after knowing that he was a person or he was a child with a different sexual orientation, refused to acknowledge that. Moreover, in Act 2, you all are also directed to make notes under a third theme, the first two being patriarchal oppression, the second being influence of the family in creating the male figures as oppressors. The third is how society manipulates men into becoming oppressors without any knowledge of their own. To give a short example, Nitin Trivedi is a gay figure whose different sexual orientation is known to his friend Praful. Praful, having a sister, an unmarried sister, feels that this relationship with Nitin Trivedi can be continued under the mask of a formal social marriage. Therefore, he marries off his sister to Nitin Trivedi, thus creating a formal relationship of marriage between Nitin and Alka, beneath which the different sexual relationship between Nitin and Praful continues. In Act 2, therefore, you are directed to make notes under this third theme called influence of the ways in which society manipulates men into becoming oppressor figures. In the next act, Act 3, which is entitled Free for All, the students are directed to make notes under the following themes. First theme being the ways in which Dattani creates a resolution in the final act. Under this theme, you all must refer closely to the text to highlight the points of the ways in which men and women come together to create a resolution in the final act. It is important that you all refer to Act 1 and Act 2 and how one character interacts with another to comment on the final outcome in Act 3. In Act 3, you all are also directed to write about and make notes about another theme, which is the ways in which symbols and symbolic ideas are finally resolved in the final act. Under this theme also, you all are directed to refer to each of the symbols in Act 1 and Act 2, and finally how that symbol stands in the final Act 3. For example, there will be a reference or two to the bonsai in Act 1 and Act 2. Under a specific discussion of symbols and symbolic meanings in Act 3, you all must refer to what had been told about that specific symbol in the previous acts. I am also stating the symbols which must be discussed under this heading of symbols and symbolic meanings. The symbols are 1. The mask, 2. The social party, 3. The bonsai, 4. The imaginary cook or kanhaiya, 5. The use of alcohol and the bar, BAR, 6. The reference to Naina Devi and the Thumri, 7. The use of the setting or the house of the Trivedis and the space outside the house of the Trivedis, where the auto rickshaw driver, for example, features, as a symbol. The seventh symbol, I repeat, is the use of place and as a symbol. In this slide, the details regarding the use of place and space is given. You all must refer to this. And finally, the eighth symbol